Welcome back, and not just Matt Hatfield, we got the coach Ed Young, Dino Franza, other side of the glass, as we hope you enjoy the Labor Day weekend, Kentucky Derby Day. We'll tackle the Derby and much more throughout the morning, but there are so many 757 players who played in high school or college right here in the NFL now, and the NFL is going to start on Thursday night, in fact. Chiefs, Texans, you'll hear it right here on ESPN Radio 94.1. If you missed last week's AFC over-under picks, it's up on our podcast page. Go to the 757 at 6. This is 757 Saturday Sports Talk. But go to that link from our old shows. We've kind of blended this and the old high school sports talk, and you can hear those picks for that. And right now we're going to fire up the NFC over-unders on the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field or on 5589 Greenwich Road, Max Media. NFC teams will take them alphabetical order, guys, and I guess I'll go first since Arizona Cardinals. Hey, they begin with A. Last year they won 5 games. Everybody's calling them a trendy pick. 7.5 is the over-under. I wish I was as optimistic. I love Larry Fitzgerald. I hope he plays another year. And by the way, there is some local flavor on the team with B.W. Webb. We've had him on this station out of Warwick High School and William and Mary. The total is 7.5, guys, and as much as I'm rooting for them to win, not just 8, 9, 10, go 16-0, I'm going to say they probably finished. It's the toughest division in football. Just a smidge under it at 7-9. They will be improved, but I just don't know if Murray's going to be durable enough, so I'm going to go under. Ed?
Under.
You didn't even hesitate.
I'll go under as well.
Man, a sweep for my Cards. Bird Gang. We might surprise you, though. All right, Ed, you're up first. The Atlanta Falcons, who won 7 games last season, the total is 7.5, and they've got flavor all over the place. I think Leroy Reynolds is back with them out of Maury High School. Matt Schaub's been around forever as a backup to Matt Ryan out of UVA. They have some other UVA guys on that team, too. What do you think? Falcons at 7 in that NFC South, which has got some really good quarterbacks in it.
I think, I disappointed the Falcons last year. I think they get 8 this year.
He's going over. Dino?
I think they'll be improved. I'll go over.
Going to go over. That division's pretty tough. They do have Matt Ryan, and even with Breeze and the Saints and Brady and the Bucks, they can get to 8-8. So I'll make it a sweep and go over, but probably 8-8. Dino, you're up first for the next two, but before we get to your team, the Carolina Panthers, who they got a couple of guys from here, Trenton Cannon out of Kecoughtan High School, Virginia State, and we're still hoping for our man Quinn Blanding out of Bayside High School, UVA, to make the roster. Total is 5.5 for the Panthers, who only won 5 games last year. New coach.
I am going to go under.
Under, Dino says, for the Panthers. I agree. That division, they're the team in the basement in that NFC South with Great Sugarman and Ryan, Breeze, and Brady. Ed, you make it a sweep here. Not a lot of disagreements thus far.
5.5, you're saying,
is the total. And they only won 5 last year. No Cam Newton, no Ron Rivera. It's a new regime there from a quarterback and coach standpoint.
McCaffrey, though.
They do have maybe the best running back in the sport. That's correct.
True. Defense is young.
Yeah, no Luke Kuechly anymore.
Yeah. I want to say 6, but my
Go ahead. Do it. Come on. Why not? We've only got French fries and crystal water on this. I don't think we have anything that's major in terms of wagering.
And who else is in that conference with them now?
Well, you got the Saints, the Bucks, and the Falcons. Yeah.
Saints, that's 2 losses. Bucks, 2 losses. Falcons.
Well, don't do the schedule thing. You're going to go past 12 o'clock. You do that.
Yeah, and I got to leave at 11, so can't do that.
You just got a call. You got to, what was it? You got to go get a 7-foot Serbian big man, huh?
I got a chance to get a big Russian kid. I'm going to try to get him. I got a house visit. I'm going to say
Nansman River. He plays at Nansman River.
I'm going under.
He's going to go under. All right, Dino, the Bear Down Chicago Bears. Our buddy Taquan Mizell's not there anymore, who we've had on the station. The total is 8.5. They won 8 last year. Do you know who your quarterback is?
Supposedly, I guess it's going to be Trubisky.
Over Foles, huh?
That kind of leaked out yesterday. At least that's the rumor, Trubisky over Foles. What'd you say the over-under is for the Bears?
8.5.
8.5. You know, they really had a bad year last year. Still won 8 games, though. I think with some improvement at the quarterback position, they still have the strong defense. I'm going to go over.
He's going to go over, Ed?
Trubisky is a starting quarterback until Game 3. When he loses, Foles comes in. And I think I think they'll get 9.
Do you? Over. All right. Dino, I hate to be the bad guy here. I just think that with the Packers,
It's
And
tough.
the Vikings.
The Vikings are very good.
Yeah, Vikings defense, you know Green Bay is going to have a motivated Aaron Rodgers. They could be improved and still only win 8 games. So I'm going to say they just finish a hair under, but they got a good chance to be a surprise team in the NFC. So I'm going to go under here. All right, Ed, you're up first for America's team sometimes. The Dallas Cowboys, who won just 8 games last year. 9.5 is the total for them.
Yeah, see, I think they're a 9-10 win team. I'll go over.
They got a couple of JMU guys, by the way, and Ben DiNucci, Gucci Goo, and Rondell Carter from JMU. Should they make the final roster, we shall see. All right, you're going to go, what would you say?
I'm going to say over.
Over.
They can get 10.
All right, Dino?
They always seem to underachieve. So I'm just going to go under.
I think they're going to get off to a fast start, maybe 5-1, and then implode. So I'm going to go under there, too. I think they could be actually a Super Bowl favorite until about week 7 when they start feeling themselves, and that's the end of it. All right, the Detroit Lions, I'm up for first here. They won just 3 games a year ago. Are they playing on Thanksgiving Day? We kind of hope not. Nonetheless, the total is 6.5 for them. Boy, in that division, I think they're going to go 6-10, 5-11. I'm going under, Ed.
Well, I hate to do this to my buddy, our buddy Alan Williams.
Yeah, Norview and William and Mary product, who's still on the coaching staff, right?
Defensive backs coach for them. Again, Bears are putting the Bears at 8-9 wins. Vikings up there, Packers. Lions, I'm going to say under.
Dino, you making a sweep with an under here?
I will go under, yes.
All right, so we're not feeling the Lions, all you Detroit fans out here in Hampton Roads. They aren't getting to 7+ wins this coming season. All right, Ed, you're up first for the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers will have to hold off the rookie for them to get to this win total, which is set at 9. A year ago, they won 13 games. Why is it so low?
They don't have any receivers. They got some changes. People think Rodgers is slightly going the other way.
But they have Raven Green, who was one of their top tacklers early on. He got hurt. First Colonial High School, JMU Duke, back on the defense. Maybe he'll be an impact guy.
And I think that defense is solid enough that I'm going over.
Over, Dino.
Said it's 9?
9. Isn't that incredibly low?
It is low. I'm going to go over.
I think that's a locker-rooney. I'm going over to make it a sweep. It might be the best play if you're one that likes to put a little coin on it in the NFC. All right, Dino, you're up first for the L.A. Rams, no longer the St. Louis Rams. They haven't been there for a while. Total is 9. They were in the Super Bowl just 2 seasons ago. This year it's 9. They got a couple of Virginia guys, UVA, Virginia Tech, trying to make the roster, as did Levante Taylor, who was signed as an undrafted guy to Ocean Lakes High School. Florida State was in these studios. Do the Rams get over 9? Was it a push, or are you going under?
Has the window closed on the Rams? That's the question there. So I'm going to go under. That's a tough division.
Very tough with Seattle and San Francisco, who's in a Super Bowl. The surging and improving, on the rise Arizona Cardinals. Someone's got to finish in last, and if you finish in last, you're not getting to 9. So Todd Gurley's not there anymore. He's in the dirty South. I'm going to go under as well. Ed, are you going with the sweep, or do you say not so fast, my friend?
They're
go over?
9.5?
No, it's 9. Even 9. It's a moment.
No, 7. They got 7 wins coming.
7. We go under all the way for the Rams, who were just in the Super Bowl a couple of Februarys ago. All right, up first for the Vikings. They won 10 a year ago. It's 9. Ed Young, our man Jalen Holmes out of Lake Taylor High School in Norfolk. Does he get them over, and does he make them a Super Bowl contender?
Love Jalen, but I think it's more on Kirk Cousins.
Who needs to be quiet for a little bit, by the way. Yeah. Every time he opens his mouth, something bad happens.
Hey, he's not afraid of COVID.
No, he's not.
So he gets it.
Just pipe down and play, Kirk. I mean, geez.
I'm going to go over.
You're going to go over, Dino.
Very good team. What is that? What is it again?
9. Yeah.
9. Yeah, definitely over. Definitely over.
Those 2 teams, Packers and Vikings, could vie for the division crown, and it might be at about 11 wins for each of them, right around there, 10 or 11. So I'm going to go over as well to make it a sweep. All right, I'm up first for the Nolans Saints. 10.5 is the total. Last year they got 13. I'm starting to wonder, is the window closing for them? And while I think they'll make the playoffs, probably a wild card team if they don't win the division, 10.5. I'm going to surprise people here a little bit and go with an under for the Saints, where our buddy Mizell, who used to play for Dino's Bears out of Bayside High and UVA, is trying to make the final cut on that squad as they catch the ball to the backfield, running back, scat receiver there type guy, scat back. I'm going to go just under at 10.5 for the Saints to get to 9-7, 10-6. Ed?
I'm going over.
You're going to go over.
I still believe in the Saints.
Still believe in Mr. Breeze. How about you, Dino?
I do, too. They always seem to play well until they get to the postseason. Something happens then, so I'll go over.
All right, we got 6 more to do here on this edition of 757 Saturday Sports Talk. Yours truly, Matt Hatfield, with the coach Ed Young and Dino Franza, giving you our NFC over-unders as we go through some of the local flavor across the Commonwealth. 757 included here. And up first for the Giants, it's you, Ed, the New York Football Giants, who won just 4 games a season ago. Boy, it's been so long since they went to 2 Super Bowls with Eli Manning and Tom Coughlin. They're out of town, as is Plaxico Burress, who started at Greenland High School and caught that game-winning touchdown pass in the Super Bowl against the Pats. It's just 6.5 for them this year. Last year they won 4. And by the way, a couple of guys from here, O'Shane Zimenez, Old Dominion, and Chris Peace, who started at Denby High School and UVA. Do you feel Big Blue?
See, my first instinct is they're going to get 6 wins, but that's under. So 6 wins is under. I'm going to have to go under, but they'll be improved.
Under, says Ed. What about you, Dino?
I agree, improved, but they're not there yet, under.
I'm going to surprise you all here. I'm going to say they just squeak it out and go over to get to 7-9. Maybe they might be one of those teams. See, they'll be the opposite of the Cowboys. They'll start off bad, maybe 2-6-ish, and then make a late push to get to 7-9, 8-8. So I'm going to go just squeak it out at over. And up first, Dino, you are for the Philadelphia Eagles, who have Josh Sweat, defensive end, Oscar Smith High School, Florida State. 9 for that crew a year ago. 9.5 is the total this year.
Can they get to 10? I say yes.
Are you still hurting over that playoff game a couple years ago? Still bugging you?
I still have nightmares about that kick.
Yeah, just don't go for it next time. Don't kick the field goal. All right, you said you're going over for them?
Yes.
I think they're going to get to 10 as well. I'm going to go over for the Eagles. They've had some injuries. Still don't trust their receivers, but I'll go over. Ed?
3 in a row. Over.
Over. Across the board. I think they win the NFC East, too. All right, the 49ers, you're up first for them, Ed. 13 wins a year ago. The heartbreaking loss in the Super Bowl. They got Tim Harris out of UVA and Varina High School up in Richmond. 10.5 is the total this year. Do they get to 11 in that very, very rugged NFC West? Yes. What about you, Dino?
What is that?
10.5.
10.5.
Tied for the Saints, by the way, with the highest on the board in the NFC.
10.5. You're almost tempted to go under. And you know what? Just to be different, I will.
You know what? I'm going to do it, too. I think they get to 10-6. I think Seattle might win that division. That big addition with Jamal Adams could kind of put, the pendulum towards them for that division. And the Super Bowl hangover is real, guys. Teams that lose in the Super Bowl the next year tend to struggle a little bit. So I'm going to
That's true.
I'm going to go under for them. All right, I'm up first for the Seahawks. They won 11 last year. It's 9 this year. We know about Russell Wilson actually starring at collegiate school in Richmond, by the way. They don't have Cam Chancellor anymore. That Legion of Boom is different, but they did bring in Jamal Adams. I got them win the division. I'm going to go over 9 for the Seabirds.
Over easy.
Over easy.
I ain't talking about eggs.
I was ready to say I didn't know it was breakfast time. I'm about ready.
Well, normally, Dino, who's ever running the board, has to bring breakfast in, but that's okay. We'll
I didn't know that was part of the deal, or I wouldn't have come in.
You have to read the fine print.
Yes, that's what they say. Read the fine print. Seattle. Over.
He goes over. No scrambled eggs here. All right, Tampa Bay Buccaneers with Tom Brady. Tom, terrific. They just brought in Leonard Fournette. They got Gronk. They got all kinds of weapons there. 7 wins last year for them, and Bruce Arians, the beanie guy, coaching, formerly of my Birds. 7 last year. Ed, you're up first. 9.5 for Brady and the Bucs.
9.5.
9.5 is the total right now.
See, my instinct says they were going to get 9 wins.
Really?
Yeah.
So go under. Why not?
That
makes sense.
Excuse me.
But you don't make sense. So you're going to.
I don't make sense, so I'm going to have to go a tad over.
He's got dollars, not cents. Dino, you're up. You go over?
Yeah.
All right.
I think they can get. Well, I have to get 10, right?
Yes, to get over 9.5, that's how it works. You got to get 10.
Yeah, okay. Then I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to stick with 10.
Okay, so he goes over. I've scratched it out 3 times. Dino, what are you going with, over or under?
They look really good on paper with all that talent, but a lot of it's past its prime. I'm going to go under.
Ooh.
Hey, I'm going to avoid the hype.
Avoid the hype. I love hype. I'm going to go over just barely, but I don't see them going far in the playoffs. I think they're one and done once they're there, should they get there. I'm going to go over, but I don't see them as the Super Bowl team. And then we finish up with the team that doesn't have a true nickname yet. And Dino, you're up first. The Washington football team, which, by the way, has a lot of Virginia flavor. I won't go through it all, but for a little-known fact that those that don't know this, Jonathan Allen, one of their studs on defense, who played at Stonebridge High School, obviously Alabama, he actually started at Western Branch High School in Chesapeake as a freshman before he moved up to Ashburn. And by the way, he's playing up there in Ashburn for the Washington football team. Do you know they won 3 games a year ago? It's 5.5. What do you think about Danny Boy Snyder and the crew?
Well, I tell you what I really like about the team is their head coach. I think that was a smart hire in Ron Rivera. You saw what he did in Carolina. It was time for him to move on. He's got a challenge there with the Washington football team, and they've got a lot of challenges off the field and on. But I say, they're going to go over. I like Ron Rivera.
I like Ron Rivera, too, but I think getting rid of Adrian Peterson just in the last day or two, it's not going to bode well for them. And if it was 4.5, I'd take the over. But
you know what? They got a lot of good young talent on that team, though.
They do. And 5.5, listen, if you're one that likes to put a couple shekels on it, you'd be very, very tempted to take the over here. As am I, like you, Dino, but I'm going to go just under. I needed it at 4.5, not 5.5. I'm greedy, very greedy, so I'm going to go under. So, Ed, you break the tie for the Washington football team.
They're going to win 5 games, so I'm under.
So you're going under. So there you have it, the over-unders for the National Football Conference and the National Football League. And we know we are your home for the NFL right here on ESPN Radio 94.1. When we come back, we'll talk to a 7'5" player who hopes to join that long list of guys from here one day in the NFL. But before he gets there, he's going to finish up at Salem High School in Virginia Beach. And then at the Air Force Academy, we're talking about defensive end, outside linebacker Isaiah Henderson from the reigning Beach District champions. It's coming your way next on ESPN Radio 94.1.